Hello, people of Instagram. This is my first time using this microphone, and I don't know how loud my voice is going to be, so I'm kind of scared. But I'm just gonna try and get used to this. So, hi. Um, so day two of the Seeding Light Authenticity Challenge, and my video today or tonight. I'm very much a night owl, so I tend to post quite a lot at nighttime. Um, My what I want to speak about today, a truth that I want to share. Um, and it's something that was this is so in line with the Aries full moon that we have. The moon has just moved into Aries and it'll be full in Aries tomorrow because Aries is all about authentic expression. Um, if an Aries has to like hide themselves or dim their light in any way, that does not feel good for them at all. Um, And so I was at the gym earlier and I kept bumping into people that I've not seen for a long, long time or people that knew me when I was younger. And something that I noticed that kind of like came up for me is like when people ask, so what do you do? It's almost a bit um, like I'm a tarot reader, I'm an astrologer, I'm a Reiki practitioner. And I know the easy umbrella would be to like, I'm a holistic health practitioner, the umbrella term, right? But it doesn't really describe what I do, if you know what I mean. So it's always a bit of a weird question for me to answer. But in the past, I really, really struggled with this because I would feel so much shame for not having a conventional job or not being able to have a conventional job or work full time because of like my disabilities. And I I would just freeze or I would say I'm a tarot reader and it would be really like like not empowered, not any of the kind of like oh, are we live? Any of the confidence or like excitement that I have about that being my job now. And so I guess as a vulnerable share in the sense that yeah, I think when you especially if like because I've always wanted to kind of live outside the UK or to travel. And for me, when I graduated university, I was going to move to Canada. I was going to go to Florida, see my auntie. Like there was lots of travel plans for me upon graduating university. And then obviously COVID happened. And then I had all this health stuff that I had to deal with. And yeah, it's been a journey. But for me, like when I was really unwell and I wasn't able to work at all, um, that was like the hardest time in my life. And I had like just the biggest ego death ever. And during that time, it was really, really difficult when people would say, so what are you up to now? Or where are you? Are you living at home? Like, I would feel so much shame for the fact that I still lived at home and that I wasn't, using my film degree and working in the film industry like I wanted to do and living in, Edinburgh or Glasgow or London. And yeah, it's been difficult it was difficult at that time. But now, like after the interactions today, these things they don't bother me because I know that I know myself on such a deep level than I ever have before. And I love that my job is a tarot reader, an astrologer, and Reiki practitioner. And I love that I don't try and conform and fit myself into boxes and I'm also now really, really, really grateful that I have such a loving relationship with my mum and I can live at home and I don't have to pay rent. Because it's like of course I could move out and I could have my own place and stuff like that, but for me right now I realize that doesn't actually align for me. I've never really been someone that wants to live alone. um and I prefer living with people, two or three people. um but living at home gives me this freedom to be able to save money, to kind of walk this unconventional path of not wanting to settle down and get a mortgage and have kids. And actually just honoring what feels true for me is the gratitude I have that I can live at home and I can save money to go traveling again. Like, because when I was unwell, I wasn't able to travel. I had money, but I wasn't able to do it, right? So, and that's the thing, like people don't realize um you think you have all these problems and then you get unwell and you're like you have one problem. So for me, being able to overcome that, and from going from being like housebound and not being able to drive or like have conversations or retain information or be in public places a few years ago, to then like booking a one-way flight and traveling Southeast Asia for 6 months solo, that's a huge step. Because I'm a fire sign, I don't even really see it sometimes, I'm just like, yeah, that's what happened. And like, what's next? you know? Um, so yeah, I guess my share today is just reflection around being able to like find the strength in true vulnerability and being able to be confident in your vulnerability, because it's like everyone's always competing against each other, or oh, I have this thing, I'm doing this thing, or my job pays this much and I have this house, or and it's like for me, I I've had to accept that that is not my path. And also not belittle myself or berate myself for not being able to work a full-time conventional job, or that I'll like have a mortgage or any of those things, which for so many people can just cause like panic and fear and judgment, because they're like, well, what are you doing? You're 27 years old, and it's like the way in which we can think that people could think about us. And I was really caught up in that when I was unwell, because I didn't think I'd still be at home. I didn't think I wouldn't be able to work, like all these things. My life was completely flipped upside down. So now, to be in a place where I know myself better than ever before, and I know my path better than ever before, and I'm open to my path, to the universe guiding me and changing where that might be or what that might look like, it's a really liberating feeling. And something that kind of brings me back to myself or makes me smile. Like, I met another friend that I've not seen for a long, long time. And she's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, telling her about my job, whatever. And she's like, oh, you were like away traveling, right? And how was it? And I was like, yeah, it was amazing. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I might end up going to South America next year. And she was like, by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, that's insane. And like, it's just funny, right? Our uniqueness, our differences. Because like, she's away to get a house in Brecon, in my hometown. And like, to me, that's insane. Do you know what I mean? But there's no judgment. That's her path and that's what she's choosing to do, and that works for her. And this is my path and that's what I'm choosing to do, and it works for me. And that can always change, So I think when we're able to kind of like let ourselves flow instead of force, and just accept who we are at our core essence, wow, it's liberating. It really is. So that's my share today. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.